All right. Good morning, everybody. If you have your Bibles, go ahead and turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 16 this morning. 1 Corinthians chapter 16 this morning. Just going to read one verse there, verse 13. Watch ye, stand fast in the faith. Quit you like men. Be strong. Now, Shane, I think it was probably like 2 Wednesdays ago, was talking about people watching you and you kind of being an example when you're out and about. And that is very, very true. And it recently came to me, actually over the course of this week, of people watching me throughout the years of my employment at Coke. But I can tell you, I can sincerely tell you from firsthand experience, it's the truth. People are watching you, and so basically my job's going through this big schedule change where they're going to put me from 4 days a week to working every other day, and then I work weekends one week and I don't work weekends the next week, and then it rotates like that. I am not for that. I don't want to miss Sunday. That's just me. But there are certain people there who are okay with it. I personally am not. There are people who have noticed that I'm not okay with it. They know where I stand with the book. They know where I stand with church. And that in itself is a praise. I had a guy who he probably needs to be on the prayer list. I'll get with one of the ladies after church, but it just came back to my attention. But he says he goes to church. I've talked to him a couple times about the Lord and kind of where he stands on it, but every time I talk to him in the morning, it's 5:00 in the morning, and he's got alcohol in his breath. I'm standing like this close to him, and I can smell the alcohol in his breath. First off, we'll sidetrack a little bit. What are you doing messing with alcohol if you're supposed to be for the Lord? What the heck are you doing? But it's not just, I saw this. I dealt with it this one time. I'm going to shift gears a little bit. It's not just this one time that I'm talking to this guy, but it's every single day I talk to him, I smell alcohol. And it's at work. So I don't know if he was drunk the night before or if he was drinking before he came in. But I've worked with him before. And first off, he needs prayer. And he needs to get right with the Lord, because the Lord don't want you stepping into something that's going to cause you to sin. And I can tell you here and now that alcohol will do that. It alters your mind, and it'll get you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. I've done it firsthand, so I know it's a firsthand experience. And just stay away from that. But I had that guy stand up for me. He actually used me as a prime example of people who can't work on Sundays, because he knows my experience with going to church. He knows where I stand with this book. And he stood up before the CFO of Coca-Cola and told him, and used me as a prime example. There's people here that go to church. I don't know that they're as faithful as I am about it. But if the doors are open here, I want to be here. Not everybody's like that. But it meant something to me that people were watching enough to know that they know where I'm at with this book. They know where I'm at with the Lord. And I'm not going to take away my Sundays to appease Coca-Cola. It ain't going to happen. But it meant something to me that he saw that. He sees where I'm at. He knows my stance with the Lord and this book. And he stood up before the CFO of Coca-Cola and said, we got people like this guy. And he said he specifically named me and said they can't work Sundays. But they don't care. That company doesn't care right now. I won't get off on that. And then I had another buddy who, he's actually my lead at work. His name's Jeff. And he's an atheist. I witness this guy as much as I can, and he'll make like smart aleck jokes about the Lord, and I fire back at him, and he just kind of laughs it off. But he stood up to my boss and said, "What are you going to do when everybody quits?" Because he goes to church on Sunday, he preaches, he's got stuff going on at the nursing home. It means something to me that when I'm talking to these people about this, they're listening. It's an example that you're setting when you're out of the workplace and you talk to people about it. They may not seem like they're listening or they're retaining any of it, but it means something to me that they're paying attention, that what I'm doing, what the Lord's having me do is not in vain. What he's having you do at your workplace is not in vain. You may not see it at all, but people are paying attention. And it, like I said, it means something to me that one of my buddies, though he may be atheist, he knows where I stand on it. And that's where that verse comes into play. You have to stand fast in the faith, because if you're not going to do it, who's going to? Not everybody's got the knowledge and the love of this book that I hope you do. But I like I said, I'm not bragging or anything, but I also got to talk to my brother-in-law the other day. We were cutting up that deer, and he had said something that I didn't really expect from him, but he said he would worry about his family before other people's family. And I understand his stance on it, but my love for the nursing home that I have to do that. The Lord has called me to do that. The Lord has called me to preach. And we had talked about talking that about a little bit, but it didn't go in a whole lot of detail. But I want to be here on Sundays. I don't want to miss out, because, and I got a little excited when I was talking to one of my other buddies. His